Are we back? Are we back? Hello? Yeah, I don't know why that keeps happening every now and then. It just like cuts out for a couple seconds. I think everything's good now. Um, I don't know where we lost. I don't know where we dropped, but we are now here with this hand, and I think I like this hand. Skyclave is really good against them. Stoneforge gets us GT again. They're mulling to 6. It's a little slow. It is prone to just getting killed, but I think it's probably good. So sideboarding, I did board in the surgicals, so I'm at +3 surgical, +2 Council's Judgment. I boarded out all 4 spirits in the Batter Skull. Yeah, it was everybody. I OBS like lost connection to Twitch for a couple seconds. Portable hole. That's rude. I think I'm pretty happy for Vile to get portable hold over anything else though. Anyway, let's Stoneforge for GT. There's probably an argument for getting a Cauldron there instead of the GT because they've already used the portable hole. I had to think about that a little bit, but what is Engineer getting? It's a grindstone. Okay. So likely you do Skyclave this turn. Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking too. I wasn't saying that out loud, but I think almost certainly Skyclaving something this turn, or Skyclaving an Engineer, which we're pretty happy about. So, yeah. Okay. Get a Painter here. Painter's on red. That is good to know. That means, does that mean Fury here? That would kind of be a bummer. I guess really wouldn't even be that bad, would it? Yeah, so that resolves. Yeah, so those are gone. They get a 2/2. Let's see what we do here. Draw port. Interesting. So I see a couple options here. Because they named red, we don't have to worry about anything getting pyroblasted, which is nice. One thing we could do is possibly hard cast Jite, play port, tap their Saga so they don't get a construct. We have Solitude pitching either card in case of an emergency. But that does set us up for hard casting Solitude next turn, which is likely to be very good against them. So it looks like Lunel is agreeing with what I'm planning for. So yeah. Notably, they can't top deck Grindstone. That's an annoying top deck though. Yeah, let's see. So we can Wasteland. What can we do here? So we could Wasteland this Saga, tap. We could port this one, but I feel like porting the second one is probably a worse use of our mana than like casting either of our 3-drops. I'm leaning towards Wisping the Illusion because that means we'll have the best. Wisp is just the best creature to have on GT on in this matchup. Yeah, that is what we'll do. So we'll do. Yeah, so we'll Wisp. Wisp the Illusion, waste the Saga, or the Saga on 2. Locks us to Solitude. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. We might have wished that we had the Recruiter in play. I guess it'll depend if we draw another white card or not. Oh, concerned with constructs. Got it. Well, we drew Skyclave, so I think we just Skyclave the Painter's Servant. We're not dead to the combo, and the Solitude and the GT should be able to stabilize us against the Saga tokens. And we can hold up Port as well. Or get counters. Oh, actually, yeah, getting counters is better here, for sure. For some reason, I thought the Saga was only on 1 chapter, but it is obviously on 2. Oh, and forget a Swords out of their hand. I'm pretty happy about that. Is it going to be Needle on GT? If so, that definitely simplifies a lot of what we're going to be doing over the next couple turns. Never mind. Let's see. All right, we're going to take 6 here. So if we draw a land here, let's see. We do draw a land. That's a Wasteland too. So I think land makes me want to recruit for a Wisp one of the tokens. Though obviously the one that's untapped, so we can attack. And then Solitude will be able to clean up the other one. If they top deck another Saga, then we have Wasteland and Port for it. If they top deck a Painter, then it'll start looking a little dicey. But yeah, I think Recruiter into Wisp looks pretty good here. Yeah, if they top deck Painter this turn, it's fine. It'll suck if they top deck Painter after we've used the Solitude on a Construct token, which might be an argument for doing what we can to keep the Solitude alive for that. Yeah, maybe that is just the play. Just don't Solitude until we're dead. Until we're dead if we don't use it. Welder. Is that scary? No, their only artifact in the yard right now is a grindstone, so the welder doesn't really do anything. We can take this hit. What do we draw here? Plains. So yeah, I think this turn we're going to put Yorion into our hands. Probably just waste the Ancient Den, tap a mountain. The Welder, all the Welder can do is put a second Grindstone in play, which doesn't really matter here. I guess maybe we keep the Wasteland in case of a Saga. The Saga is probably scarier than the white mana. But we're at least going to pour something. And we'll put Yorion in our hands. I guess we'll wait in it. I guess we'll attack first. You think you would waste? Okay. Oh, right, they can just weld the mana back. Yeah, never mind. I'll keep the Wasteland up, and we'll port the white mana. Hello, Mr. XJ Cloud. We are in Game 2 against Painter, and we are doing well. We won the first game. This game is looking pretty good. If we get to our next turn without having to use this Solitude pitching the Yorion, then we are feeling very, very good. We can choose to chump block the Recruiter on the Construct here. I think being at 4 is not really that different from being at 9 when we're about to cast this Yorion and get rid of everything. I guess the question is, do they play like Bolts and Galvanic Blast is the one thing. I keep meaning to like look at Painter lists. I don't know what they look like right now. Maybe we're winning enough that we don't need this Recruiter in play. He had Bolts, not Blasts. Okay. So 4 is at least better than 3. Maybe we don't need this Recruiter, though. Maybe it's just better to stay safe and block. Yeah, I'm leaning towards blocking. I sure am not running Jailer, that's right. Skyclave, huh? Well, that's a good follow-up. So let us start with the attack. And I think we'll leave Wasteland Crocus up. Ooh, twin shot sniper on the Skyclave, huh? That's a little bit of a bummer. That is actually a huge bummer. Because now they can welder it back. Yikes. I guess it's good we blocked because the twin shot sniper means we would have just been dead to the construct. God, do we have to pitch the Solitude on the welder now? I guess not yet because the twin shot sniper is not in the graveyard. So I think we can safely untap here. Portable hole doesn't really matter over anything else that's in play. Yeah, we're good. Fiddlebender. Okay. Kill the den while they're tapped so Yorion can block the construct. That's actually a really good point. We could Solitude and do that now also, but that just seems a lot worse. Actually, we can't Solitude anyway because they'll just swap. It only matters if we get the twin shot, and they'll just swap the twin shot for the portable hole, so the construct will stay just as big. So I think we're taking the 5. We're going to block the illusion. Wait, so Solitude, the welder, and waste? Oh, I don't hate that, actually. That's actually pretty good. Solitude the welder, make them use it. Waste the ancient den, bring the construct down to a 4/4. Again, the artifacts in their yard don't matter. Yeah, I'm into that, actually. And then we have a pretty solid shot of stabilizing here, especially because we have the Crocus to control the Oswald. A mana like it. Yeah, I completely agreed. I think it sucks if we just it's definitely a bummer if like if we draw a land and then wish we had hard casting both those cards, but when we don't have it lined up, I think you're right about that. What have I exiled, by the way? So the Plateau was exiled to the Fury, Engineer, and Servant. Yeah, okay. Awkward to lose our GT answer. Yeah, I agree. Let's just be really good and just top deck Skyclave anyway. So the Solitude resolves. Now we can Wasteland the Ancient Den. Block the construct, take 2, go to 7, end a turn and bounce an Oswald that they currently cannot cast. And they just concede? Hello? That game was not over. Okay. I really don't think that game was over at all. But it's kind of over, but I feel like it's like I don't know, like they can top deck a Pyroblast, right? They can top deck a Pyroblast to stabilize. Um, they've shown Swords to Plowshares. They'd have to obviously draw a white source also, but yeah, they have one draw in it. I'm just saying I think I would take it, but I know that's me. I always play until I literally can't win anymore. And sometimes I even go past that. So it's more of a mentality thing. I think that is very unlikely, but yeah. All right, who is the final boss of this league? I recognize this name, but I don't know. Don't know what they play. There we go. This hand is pretty medium. With Port and Wasteland, I think I would consider this if I was on the play. I think on the draw, especially with them mulling to 6, I should get a hand that's just does more things. Well, a little bit punished here. Might keep it because it's got three 2-drops. We at least have a swords. They're mulling to 5. I'm sure our first draw, if I keep this, is going to be Timeless Dragon, though. With them mulling to 5, maybe I just mull again to make sure that I have a hand that actually works. Tough choice. I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to mulligan again. We'll keep this. Hopefully, with their 5 cards, it's unlikely they'll have answers for both vials. Then with the mull to 5 in game 1, they're probably playing Reanimator anyway, and none of our choices matter. But we'll see. Here we're probably going to bottom... Probably bottoming Wisp and maybe the second vial. Second vial is probably greedy against the Force deck. Might be more likely to get rid of the Lion Sash. Lion Sash obviously being good if we're assuming they're on Reanimator, but who knows. Alright, so they keep. We're going to keep. Definitely getting rid of the Wisp, and then the question is the other card. I think... Yeah, I'm going to do Sash. Want to make sure we get a Vial in play here when we don't know if we're drawing lands or not. It is, in fact, Reanimator. So none of our choices mattered. Nice. Yeah, the six had one plow. That was the only. We don't think any of the hands had a solitude. Yeah. Yeah, the 6 was one plow, one land, and a bunch of T-drops, so. Oh my god, that's rude. Stoneforge. Let's go, Stoneforge. I'll take that. Annoying. As soon as we draw a land, we're going to recruit for the Sash. As soon as we draw lands, we're going to recruit for Lion Sash. Riveting gameplay going on over here. Alright, this is another way to get Lion Sash. Are we going to get the fabled win against Reanimator in game 1? They must have something, or they would have F6'd by now. But I'm not sure what they... Not sure what they have that they aren't just doing it now. I guess they could be thinking about what creature to entomb for, maybe, but it should just be Grizzlebrand. I don't know. That's so they were figuring out what to pitch to Grief, I guess. That's a possibility. They're going to see this hand of a lot of cards that are good against them. I assume they're going to take the Sash here. But I guess we'll see what their follow-up is. Yep, but take the Sash. take the sash, and they pass. Interesting. So now I'll cast Recruiter. I'm not 100% sure what I'm getting here, though. It might just be another Solitude. Could be Thalia, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. Could be Spirit's probably more relevant than Thalia is. Yeah, I think with a Solitude and Swords already in my hands, I think I like Spirit for being like the one weakness that removal has is that if they just put a Grizzlebrain into play and pay 7, they're still getting a bunch of cards. And Spirit stops that and gives us a chance for our removal to actually do something. So I think I like Spirit. It is also a 3-power creature and just kills them faster. Yeah, we'll go with that. This is going to be Animated, Exhume. What do we got? Animated, okay. Animated on the Spirit is, or Griefing the Spirit is pretty fine. Ooh, that's good. So what we can do here is we can Skyclave the Grief so that they, again, just don't have a creature in the yard. Now we have a Swords up. And feeling pretty good. We've now seen 4 reanimation spells. Alright, Faithless Looting is a little scary. Sarah's Emissary and Grizzlebrand. Okay. Thalia is good, though. Definitely like playing Thalia here. I think I am probably playing Thalia, wasting, and holding up Solitude. I think I'm just trying to close the game that way. They play Marsh Flats. I like having another white card because now it means we have Swords and Solitude on this turn. And I think we got this. There's a chance we don't, but it's looking pretty good. Yeah, okay. Alright. We made it. Alright, love to win game 1 against Reanimator. Now for game 2 and 3 against Reanimator. So cut GT, cut Skull. Usually go down to no Wisps, sometimes keeping some Skyclaves for Animate Dead and Serenity. Take out Timeless Dragon because it's too slow. Charming Prince doesn't really do much. And then I don't really like Mother of Runes either. That's usually what my boarding looks like. Winning game 1 against Reanimator is huge. Usually you lose the first game, and then you win the second because being on the play is really good. And then the last game is kind of a coin flip because you have a lot more sideboard cards against them, but being on the draw against them is just so scary. But now we're already up a game and have a sideboard game on the play still in our pocket, so feeling very good. Huh. This is a fun one. I really don't think this hand is good. I think Mindbreak Trap, you board it in because it does literally have text against their fast hands, but I think it mostly just sucks. Especially because they're probably going to start with a Grief or a Thoughtseize before they do anything, and then they'll just play around the side. They'll take the swords, play around both Mindbreak Traps, and I won't be able to do anything. This hand is really not great either. Yeah, like hands like this just lose to them putting in a Grizzlebrand on turn 1, and you pretty much always have to assume that they're able to do that. This hand can beat it. Doesn't look great, but you keep it. You keep these. I will keep... We're putting back one of the lands, I'm pretty sure. I think we'll put back Plains, because we don't really need multiple white sources right now. Yep, unmasking me makes sense. Goodbye to the surgical. I also dislike their tank. I like that they're faithless looting. Maybe I shouldn't like that they're faithless looting, but I don't know. It feels always to me like there's a little bit of uncertainty with what's going to happen with faithless looting in a way that there just isn't when they have like Entomb. Alright, so they discarded Grizzlebrand, Reanimate Dead. Or Grizzlebrand, Animate Dead. We could just waste the Badlands, but that seems pretty sketchy. Maybe I need to just hope for that, because I'm not beating a Grizzlebrand that draws 14 anyway. Yeah, I think waste and hope it is. I think my main concern is that they... Oh, wow. Well, we got one hope out of it. This opening sequence is kind of what made you consider shipping Recruiter. Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Is that like because we need to use the Wastelands quickly if we're ever going to use it in a game that we aren't already super ahead. I kind of see that we want to make sure that we can actually cast our 2-drops. Yeah, we're definitely going to be punished for keeping this Recruiter. That's for sure. That's 3 Stoneforges off the top. And Dark Ritual. I don't like that. Yeah. Yeah, it is a white card. That is true. Yeah, yeah. Now they have Animate Dead for the Archon, and this game is probably just over. Yeah, we out of here. Alright, but we have another game, and we're on the play, and that always feels good. Alright, let's draw a hand with turn 1 Cage. That's what I want to see. Is Prince better than a Skyclave? That might be true, actually. I'm going to try it. I see the logic there, for sure. Like both being a 2-drop and being able to dig into hate, as opposed to Skyclave just being there in the... Skyclave answering and Animate Dead is not really... It is quite the backup plan. It's not usually going to be what wins you a game. This hand is pretty good. We have Surgical up, we have Solitude up, and we're following up with a Containment Priest on turn 2. I think it's hard to ask for a better hand than this. I wish I had Cage. That's pretty much like the only card I really wish it had. Opponent's down to 6 cards. And they're down to 5 cards, which makes this feel better. Alright, to keep on 5. So play Vial. And hope that this surgical extraction stays in our hands, please. Yeah, right. Really hope everything stays in our hand. I'd be pretty happy with that. Them tanking right now makes me concerned that we're going to lose something. But we'll see. Yep, there's Grief, pitching a Thoughtseize. What do you got? Yeah, I guess. God, why do they always do this? Just get a life. Is there a world where there's no world where we solitude that Grief with the evoke trigger on the stack, right? Like seems kind of crazy to do that to me. Versus 3 cards maybe. Yeah. Glad to draw this Swords. Still very, very disappointed in everything that's just happened. And they pitched Thoughtseize. They did pitch Thoughtseize, yeah. Yeah, you might have a point. Semi-unhinged, yeah, okay. There's a Serenity that doesn't really do much here. Yeah, sure, I'll just... Waste Recruiter for a Sash, right? Like... They're on 1 card. It'd have to be like literally Entomb Reanimate to punish getting Lion Sash here. Also means we have a white card in hand. If they do go for something, we have the Solitude. Recruit Thalia, waste port, probably game over. That's a fair point. Can't remove actual priest without casting an Archon. I assume that they probably have a Massacre in their deck. I don't know that for sure though. No second white source here is a bummer. But I think we'll just tap the Scrublands with port. There's a second white source. think we're just going to port Scrubland, keep Plains open. And they concede. All right. So Thalia, waste plus port probably does lock him out because they need to draw so much mana to get out from under that, and they're already down on so many cards. So I definitely see the logic in that. It also, and we know that they need multiple pieces of the combo because they aren't really doing anything. Yeah, I think I see the logic behind that. It's probably safer, especially because we don't have a. If we definitely had a white source to play alongside the Sash, then I think the Sash play is probably more solid. But specifically because we didn't have a white source to play along with the Sash, I think I definitely see the logic in Thalia. Insulates with discard or tune plus reanimate that turn. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we 4-1'd at the very least. Lost our first match against lands in a pretty interesting match, honestly. The last game wasn't super cool, honestly, but like the other two were pretty good. And we had a pretty solid spread of decks. Obviously, it was a league on Magic the Gathering Online, so we played against Reanimator, but we beat them, so we feel good about that. And the rest of the matches we played were pretty diverse. It was, what was it? A 4-color control deck, Painter, and Elves. Sorry, not Elves. Green, black, Cradle Control. There we go. So yeah, this time, thankfully, we actually did see Charming Prince enter play a couple times. Unlike last week, it, as always, it was okay. Worth noting, I didn't really want Prelate against a single one of the matchups that I saw today. Or sorry, I would have wanted Prelate against lands. I would have wanted it against the very first match we played. The rest would have boarded out Prelate every single time. So, I guess maybe not against Reanimator, but Prelate's not there for Reanimator. Yeah, so pretty solid outing here. I'm gonna end the stream here. Bit low on sleep and don't want to stretch it any further. We'll be back next week. Probably gonna make a couple changes to this list. Just to try out some things. I mentioned earlier, I tend not to experiment with cards very often. I tend to kind of just like stick to a list and only change like a couple. But, you know, I think as part of streaming, I'll probably experiment with cards a bit more than I otherwise would and see what we learn from that. Thank you everybody for stopping by tonight. And you can catch me at, catch me every Thursday night at 8 Eastern. We will keep playing leagues, keep testing out cards, learning new things, and I hope everybody gets something out of it. Thank you very much for stopping by, and have a good night.